Is your lunch okay? Is it delicious? You know, I know that everyone are given the measure for their own lunch. But I tried to escape my lunch because I want each and everyone inside SMX be filled and be full. Pwedeng palakpakan natin ng bawat isa. I'm sorry, James. Wow, grabe. I attended our top leaders meeting in Bangkok, Thailand, and that was the first time that I saw my name as one of the speakers for this coming LTS, not only in Manila, but also in Cebu, Iloilo, and Davao. At first, I was actually happy, especially when my daughter tells me, "Congratulations, you're one of the speakers." Later, I realized I don't have any palpitation, I don't feel anything, especially when James Chong told me that I need to speak English all the way. Thank you, James. And, you know, that instruction really gives me so much stress. And sleepless nights. It appears to me that it's like a crime. It's a violation. Every time that I approach James and asked him to allow me to speak Tagalog, and he would always tell me that, no, you need to speak English. Whew! Woo! I believe that each and everyone inside this SMX today is a big success. The very moment you step out from your houses and then suffer the heavy rains and the flooded Metro Manila, and you step inside SMX, you already become a big success. Success is a byproduct of a well-planned, well-structured, and well-defined goals in life. When I started Railway, I know that all of you or most of you know my story. I was broke, ill, sick, and devastated. But when I encountered Railway, honestly, it helps me to develop something in me that I cannot stop on dreaming big. If your partner is Railway, then today, start to build a big dreams. My topic is all about the 6 steps, which is very interesting. I mean, I was told by Faith adds so much stress in me actually. Mama, this is not just your story. This is about technical. And you owe to learn. Wow, grabe. And I started to, for the first time, honestly, I am Team Elite PEGASUS 1. And the very first time that I took time to read the booklet of the NDO and listen to the NDO video, it's just today. And I thank Railway for choosing me to be one of the speakers. Next. Okay. Goal. I just said a while ago that success requires a well-planned, well-designed, the structure, it must be defined. And that is your goal. That is your goal. what make my story today very different is that I started with my own story wherein it was about zero. I really love my children very much. And for how many years na I've been with them, I feel a lot. I, I live almost 99% rejections. It was about 99% failure. But as a mother, I did not have the right to say no. But that 1% left to make this success 100% was actually me. At the midst of that brokenness, nothingness, Railway came at the right time. My goal was very clear. I was fighting life and death. I was old. It was so clear to me that my big dream is about living a house and lot for faith. That somehow, as I will step into the next chapter of my life, I could actually see my children in place. And out of my children, I have seen faith. I have seen her to be the flag bearer. I have seen her to be the cup bearer. I have seen in her, that she can eventually continue what I started. Honestly, I never dreamed to become rich. I never even dreamed of owning cars. I never dreamed of travel as far as London. Wala. My dream was focused for my children, and it's about a house and lot, a business for faith, not unemployment. Third is that God may extend my life. That was my very big dream. I was so specific when I asked the Lord to bless the desire of my heart. I told Him, I want a house and lot in Taguig, where we already stayed for a couple of years. I knew that in Acacia Estates, my family, my grandchildren will live peacefully and they will experience comfortable living. It's a house and lot. What makes that house and lot so big? So big. One, I pretend, but I know I was dying. I told myself every day, you're not a patient. Every day, I have to condition myself. I am strong. I can't afford leaving my children displaced. I designed and structured that big dreams in my heart. And I started to attend OPP and the railway training room. Sometimes it's about 5 to 10 people. But most of the time, when I started Railway and joining an OPP, it's all about the Chinese people. They're speaking Mandarin. At the back of that training room, I need to learn. Even if they, speak Mandarin, I need to learn. Most of my time, I spend it in the office, where where I found Dayan Ang, where I met Lani, where I most of the time listen to Lani during an OPP. I used to stay on the next table because I do not belong to their team. My team is from Davao City, so when I started, I was alone. But that big dream in my heart is very clear, very exact, that I need a house and lot, that I need faith, a living. Then I started to, definite and exact. It was very clear, exact, and very definite that within that year, 2017, I told to myself, there is no more next month, no more next year, no more next time. This big dream must happen now. Now. But it's so hard. So hard. Because if you mean multi-level marketing, direct selling, at the back of that, very promising, actually, opportunity was a number or a huge number of people. There, during that time, I tried to recall all my friends and started to create my own contact list. Oh, ayaw niya. Oh, contact list. At the back of my mind, I knew na I know people, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And since I was a networker before, I was trained that if you are in the business like this, have no mercy in sharing your business, your product. Have no mercy that I need to secure myself with a contact list. I need to go back to, okay. Thank you. Then, that was the beginning that I really need to plan for my business. I really need to plan how to start my business. And to start it with, I was looking at huge people or number of people. Because in this kind of business, your network will dictates your net worth. Tama ba? Okay. So, I was looking at Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Started to list lot of names, started to recall people from different places, start to collect their contact numbers. But at the end of that, at the end of that time of preparing my contact list, I really do not know how to start it with. I do not know whom to talk first. I do not know whom to share first. Then I went back. I went back to my place and then start to focus on my contact list. The number one person that I really, first encountered in Railway was my daughter. It was fate. But, she never gives me a good respond. She was focusing on her plan to travel abroad. And number two was my next son. My next son was a high school graduate. At age 21, he finally graduated. Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, he graduated high school. Then he was one, actually, of my I was so concerned about him. I'm sorry, I know he is around, but I used to tell myself, Angelo, you're really a prodigal son of mine. So he comes second on my list. Same reason, maybe because of my failures. Maybe because of my lot of mistakes. That's the very reason that both of them, Faith and Angelo, say no to me. But I can still remember my big dream. I have seen Riwi now as my partner, so I have to move. On my third list was the name of Jeddah Monte. There is one thing, common with us, Jeddah, is that we are both single mom. We are broke, so broke. And if I could remember it right, every now and then, she used to text me, Ate Beth, do you have money? Or can you spare me some of your food? Both of us are actually broke, so broke, that there was even a time na you come to my place, Jeddah, and we slept together on the floor. Sleep together. She was pregnant with her second baby, Miracle. I was actually, deep inside my heart, I desire to help her. But I don't have money also. Every time she leaves, I could give Jeddah pamasahe. I could spare some of my food to Jeddah, some of my dress. She was pregnant then, but this is wearing short. Small things, just the small things. This 20 contact list, I know that I need to really identify. I need to identify them. I need to prioritize. I need to know them. I need to talk to them, not just on the list. Jeddah was on the third list. Followed by Lindilo. Jeddah was Pegasus today. Followed, Next in line, it was circumstantial, but Lindilo came to my place. After fourth on my list was Lindilo. She came, so depressed. 2 times attempt applying a visa for US because at that very moment she wanted to marry. Whether it is Canadian or what, she doesn't care, but she wants to travel abroad. So she went to my place and slept because it was, I think, 1 week already that she repeatedly went back to immigration, to the embassy, and processed her visa. And lo and behold, she got denied. After Lendelo, followed by Ann Maliantok. Lendilo now is Team Elite Pegasus 1. Then, next was Ann Maliantok, a vendor. I can still remember her. She's a vendor from a certain elementary public school in Jensen. So broke, suffering because the husband has to undergo, I think, 3 times dialysis every week. And today, Ann Maliantok is Team Elite Pavo. It was a meeting a meeting like this an LTS also in Taipei. After 2 months, that Faith was invited to, to attend. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, when I started my railway, it was not named after me because I knew I am terminal. Without any permission from my daughter, I bought the therapy and placed set under her name. Because I know that anytime. But lo and behold, right after those meeting, okay, this very contact list that I written from 1 to 20, from 120, you know what happened? All of them today are in the position of an elite in Railway Philippines. Maybe God opened the windows in heaven, then pour out so much blessing that though I was old, He gives me these millennial leaders. I was sick, He gives these very energetic leaders. I am less. He gives me an extraordinary leaders. And that is Jada, Lendelu, Ann Maliantok, Irene Iscabarte, Janet De La Sena. These are all Pabus. These are all Team Elite Pegasus and more. So I would like to grab this opportunity. The most neglected part of freeway is the NDO. And one of the things that I don't even, do is the reading this is the contact list. After the 20 list, I never bother anymore because I have these people already. But if you want to advance your business and railway, it is important and it is a must for you to simply follow the foundation, to simply follow the NDO. This, NDO, really, it really gives me now the chance as well to really grow. To really grow. For I think about 1 week already that I was focusing on the NDO, it made me feel better as a Team Elite Pegasus 1. It gives me the direction. It gives me the clear direction. Success is a matter of a destination. Success is not a destination. It's eventually a journey. It is a process of failures and rejections. But eventually, after learning this, contact list, there's 6 steps, part of the NDO, I really learned a lot. And after that list of names, I started to, of course, I started to talk to each and everyone. I talked to Jeddah. Why only 20? Because 20 is very much manageable. Though it appears to me that I really knew people a lot, but to start your business in railway, you only need to identify 1 or 2, 3 or 4, 5 or 6. That keeps the business manageable. And out of this list of names, I started to go to the next, I started to When Faith told me na she's not interested about railway, I started to detour and place Jeddah on top of my list. Place Lendelo on the next number, so on and so forth. There is actually a need for us to really understand, to really empower ourselves today, to really, enhance somehow that there is a need for us to really, clearly understand the journey, the journey. Now, contact list today makes my business so easy. Despite of my pain that time, despite of my condition, it helps me a lot. Then from the list of my priorities, I give them, I join with them for, okay. From there, we started to plan. I sat down with Jeddah for, I think, few days, and then listened to her. Actually, from the very beginning, our problem is not about money. We started to plan big, despite of both of us, we do not have the money. And I think 2 or 3 days, she reminded me of Ate Beth, my job. She was working in the fort that time. My job is my bread and my butter. So therefore, when you set a plan with your people, you need to know squarely the people you mentored with. So when she told me that her work, previous work was his bread and butter, I eventually told her, nakakatawa, but it seems this is real. I told her, then what's the purpose of coming to my house, then ask for pamasahe and ask for food? If this job, your employment is your bread and your butter. I think that was the turning point of Jeddah went to railway office, went to railway and then start learning. And okay, this is the start learning. Actually, when you are in railway, you need to be very specific. One is that after Jeddah, I started to build the plans, okay? One is that every morning, 4 o'clock, I must sit myself sitting in my table with a hot coffee, hot ginger, okay? And then start to plan throughout the day. After that, 4 to 5 o'clock, 6 to 7, I need to get out and then walk because I need sunlight. By 8 o'clock, I have to ready my breakfast. It's all about juicing and a blended food. It was actually so hard for me when I started railway. From there, every Sunday, I see to it. I see to it that every Sunday, it's my rest day. It's my family day, and it's my church day. Monday to Saturday, I make sure that everything listed in my plan were actually done. Meetings after meetings, lunch, dinner. So religiously, I followed my plan. Never leave a single day missing your plan. Because Monday will never come back. Tuesday will never come back. Yes, Monday will come, but it's a different Monday. And Saturday, so on and so forth. So that is how I, build my business and railway. Next is the fixing an appointments. Okay? Fixing an appointment. Actually, fixing an appointment requires a motivation. I told James to let me, if I'm on stage, James, just allow me to share what is my very own story. Fixing an appointment requires a motivation that is coming from your heart. Because most of the time, if you talk about MLM, if you talk about networking, people are already, burned out. So there is an art, of, fixing an appointment. I usually, instead of sharing it by phone, no. I'm calling for an appointment in a coffee shop or over lunch or over dinner. Now, what all of us today, I know na it is very hard for us to really share and to fix an appointment because though there's an easy way for people to say no to you. They are all busy, they are really occupied, but one thing that I learned in fixing an appointment is a motivation wherein each and every one appears to be very important to me. They are my VIP that I need to invite them in a place conducive for us to discuss this, to share Railway. So it's my way of, one-to-one over a cup of coffee. I discourage this, some of us who calls people and then fix an appointment because honestly today, this is no longer effective. You need to entice them with good food. You need to invite them in a place wherein it could eventually serve, it could eventually make them you admire. Okay? From when I invited Jada, the place is in SM Aura. I do not have actually money, but I tried to brought her in a place like Mary Grace, and then I give her, the best food so far in Mary Grace, and it really works. It really works. Okay, it really works. Yeah, and then, you know, I know her need. I know her needs. Miracle then was just 2 months. And I see to it that I have this gift for Miracle. I told Jeda, I have a gift for your daughter. So I bought a piece of clothing inside SM and then place it in a very, beautiful bag just to let her know it's a little bit expensive. Okay? Organic, okay? Then buy a lot of, baby needs like an organic shampoos, an organic conditioner, an organic lotion for Miracle. That is, I think, the best way that I've, done to Jada, that I truly capture her heart and believe what I exactly believe. So that was how and I'm not doing it for Jada alone. I'm not doing it for Jada alone. For all my, for all my teams, actually, because it's not Faith who started this Team Kayo Manggi. Okay lang ba, Faith? This Team Kayo Manggi actually begins with me. So, all the people around, all the people that are part of this, core now, I was the one who actually strategized how to make them believe, how to make them excited, and how to make them, follow and listen whatever I shared to them. So that was how I strategized. Fixing an appointment, I would like to remind you again that it requires a motivation coming from your heart. Do not just simply, invite people. Make everyone in your list very important. Make everyone in your list very valuable. Make everyone in your list today VIP. Okay po? Now, next po. Now, sharing an OPP. Okay, I actually, after, consuming the product for 1 month and 2 months, it was so easy for me to share fourth-year placenta. So easy that almost all of them can actually recognize the development that was in me. And the sad thing is that the downside of that development was some of my friends actually told Faith, "Oh, Faith, is that your mother?" "Yeah, she's my mom." it appears that we look like sisters. Okay? Many of my, neighbors, some of my friends tells me that I look younger than my age after consuming the product. Sharing the product is, situational. There are times that it's not even the scheduled time for you to share, but most of the time, um, you can actually grab it, you can actually utilize, you can actually maximize this times that you'll be meeting with your prospects or your contact list. Okay? Then do not do not leave, no, that very moment, and then you need to share fourth-year placenta. Otherwise, you will lose the privilege of sharing the best product in the world today, that is fourth-year placenta. After establishing, people under our team, signing up or buying one therapy is not the end to make your dreams come true. The moment when a person take out the 135,000 and they will start to use fourth-year placenta, that was the beginning of a relationship. This journey is a relational business. This is not a transactional. Therefore, follow-up is very important. Follow-up. There is actually money in the follow-up. Okay? What is the use of sharing fourth year if you do not know and you do not understand follow-up? Follow-up plays an integral part in the business. This is the very moment that you will, create a relationship with your people. There is a need for you to establish, okay? Establish understanding. There is a need for you to establish belongingness. Okay? Follow up. That is the very moment wherein you can create users to become pushers. This is actually the moment wherein you can, turn this something in them to something very beneficial. This is the moment where I had this expertise, one-on-one follow-up. This is actually the time where I was given this, the opportunity to really impart what is in me to my associates. Follow-up. Follow-up is very necessary. Follow-up. So if you do not know how to follow up your associates under you or your users under you, I think you don't have business in railway. You don't have business in railway. Follow up. It is not, it is not effective for you joining an OPP all the time, bringing a lot of people to the OPP, hiring vans and buses for an OPP if you do not know how to follow up. Okay? Now, follow up again is the beginning of creating and building your own network. It's through follow up. Now, I have done the 6 steps. I'm done with the 6 steps. What else? Ladies and gentlemen, it took me years of, courage to really continue my railway business. The house and lot, the business for faith. I was given this so big team now in the Philippines. And I think I need to compensate as well as the word was the word was saying that I am the mother PEGASUS. There is no way for me to stop because right after the follow-up, I have seen my accountability to my people. Accountability. And most of my team are young, smart than me. wiser than me. These are the group of millennials like Jeddah. This is the group like Menchi Misa, the group of faith. I believe there is a need for me to grow. There is a need for me to increase. There is a need for me to empower. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to achieve your goals in life, education is necessary. Education is a continuous process that can eventually make you an extraordinary leader. Education. Now, first, the 7 things. I actually do not have the time to listen the CDs, videos, and all that. I don't have. Because early morning, I used to, I used to keep myself busy with the protocols that I've been needing. From my coffee, down to my sunlight, down to my blended food, then my yoga, my tai chi, and my zumba. There's a lot. There's a lot. But eventually, I have seen my team growing. I have seen Jeddah just like earlier. I have seen her, wow, grabe. Growing up in Railway International made me, so amazed with her. As I look up her earlier, she's so great leader, turning this Jeddalyn from broke to an extraordinary Jeddah. So, Lindy Lou. She's also a single mom, a battered wife before. She's not even a graduate of any college or any four-year course. But what's in her now that really pushed me a lot to learn and to grow? Today, she's definitely absent because Lindy now is now building her own team in the United States of America. Okay? Meaning, you really need to grow every day. Listening to CDs helps us a lot to somehow condition us every day. Listening to this CDs like the NDO, it helps us, to be ready every day. Aside from DVDs, you need to read books. You need to read books. And I'm not I'm not the type of person who actually love books. First, I'm not using a salamin. I'm not using it, and it's a little bit difficult for me to read books a lot. But I need to really, make some point in my life that I need to read books. Because every time I am on stage, every time I was asked to share, people are waiting, always something new coming from me. Therefore, there is a need for us to really grow ourselves. People are so eager, people are so hungry to really learn from you. People are expectant. Every word that will come out from your mouth, they're actually expecting something that can definitely build them and strengthen them, that can inspire them and give them the courage. And it's through reading books that I can continue on inspiring people just like today. Okay? Next po. Next is attend meetings. I think for almost 2 years in Railway International, I was justified. I supposed to join a lot of meetings, especially in the international, but I do not have the passport. My parents maybe failed to register me, and so it was so hard for me to get a birth certificate. Attending meetings like international, both abroad and here, is very important because first, the business is duplication. Meetings like this, people are looking at their uplines. Every meeting like this, they are, borrowing strength from you. Every meeting like this, people wants to see you. They want to see your energy. They want to see the real you. They want to see you know, they want and so excited to really see you because once and for all, you become part of her big dream. So attend meeting now is my priorities. Attending meeting now is one of my priorities. Sometimes, like traveling abroad for a meeting, it is so, parang hard for a senior citizen like me. But with this, number three, from the 7 things, it really, parang inspire me a lot now to join meetings, not just to inspire myself, but to inspire the Filipino people. Next is, okay, contact your upline. I am so blessed that my upline is my daughter. So every day we meet, every day we talk, every day we exchange ideas, every day we exchange opinions, but almost every day we also quarrel. There is this big gap between me and Faith. She's a millennial, I am a baby boomer. So I really believe. But these are good quarrels. It really, it is good. But eventually, I'm not considering my daughter as my upline. Honestly, it was Rex Bugalao who spent, I think, 5 to 6 months inviting me to listen Portier Placenta. Rex is not just my upline. Rex is a son to me. We started our relationship many years ago when we were still in Davao City. For people who do not know him, at a very young age, Rex Bugalao occupied a place, a very good position already na one of the best company in Davao, one of the biggest company in Davao City, wherein he worked as a manager. We went to same church, and I have seen him. Na every time he talked, I was so, inspired. I learned from him. And there was this hungriness in me na I want to always listen to him. One day, it was actually Rex Bugalao who introduced to me to multi-level marketing. And then after a couple of months, we're working in one company, he resigned. He resigned. He resigned from a position of being a manager and opted to work full-time in a multi-level marketing. It amazed me a lot, really. But it eventually gives me now so much strength. If I look at it, Rex Bugalao, he is the best example of the strongest man I ever met. Yes, he is. I am Ate Bet to him, and he is Rex Bugalao to me. Parang it's a mother and a son relationship. My relationship with my upline is not only confined within the business. Beyond business, we are upline and downline. And for some reason, I was so grateful how God orchestrated our path. Because Rex Bugalao today was the instrument that was used by God to bless me and then make that dream, big dream, happen. But his journey was not easy. 6 months in the process. He will call me every day. He will text me, Ate Beth, you listen, Portier Placenta. Ate Beth, you joined Thursday OPP. But 6 months also, I tried to, say no to him. But he never leaves me undone. When I visited Davao, he brought me to Green Banana Hotel, where I first learned Portier Placenta. And lo and behold, I never leave Green Banana Hotel without one bottle of Portier Placenta. Rex Bogalaw knew. He knew my needs. And it's not about business, actually. Sharing Portier Placenta from Rex, I knew that it's not about business, actually. He knew from the very beginning that I was a colorectal cancer patient. It was through him that I got my pro-life. It was through him, siya, who actually helped me a lot. And Contact Your Upline is one among the best way to establish a relationship. Because somehow, if you have an upline, the moment you start Railway, you become also an upline. And when you become an upline, there you can define what is actually the between you and your upline. It's actually seldom that we meet. It's not all the time that we talk. It's about saying hi and hello. Because maybe Rex Bugalaus knew the magnitude of my heart that I'm very much willing and very much interested to do Railway. And honestly, when Raymond Tong shared to me the business of Railway, I immediately called Rex Bugalaw. Please come to my house and share to me about this opportunity. I think if I could recall it, that was the first and the last time na he slept in our place. Because today, if Rex Bugalaw would be traveling to Manila, he would definitely settle to a 5-star hotel. Contact an upline. Contact an upline. Don't forget to really reach out your upline. Along the way, as you become an upline as well, okay, you will learn a lot from your uplines. And to Rex Bugalaw, who is around, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I may not be the best associate of Rex Bugalaw today, but lo and behold, we are the best partner in Railway International. His success is my success. His brand new house and lot is my brand new house and lot as well. You see, Faith, she tried to follow Rex. As to where your house and lot is, Faith Ann is your neighbor next year. Contact upline. Next is, nawawala. Okay. Consume the product. Consume the product. Actually, this is my tagline. Use Portier Placenta till death do us part. Okay? I cannot be as beautiful as I am today without Portier Placenta in the morning, lunch, evening, and even before bedtime at 12 midnight. Okay? I am actually soaking myself to the product. That is why I become the product of my own product today. Who can say that I am a senior citizen? You see? The strength, so amazing. There are times that I used to forget things. It might be because of so much stress. But right after Portier Placenta, when I started to experience Portier Placenta, it makes me now a new Elizabeth Montero. I can go with my I can go with my daughter. I can even go with my grandchildren today. Be the product of the product. Continue to use Portier Placenta. Actually, there is this special way that's coming from the platform of Railway that eventually we can continue using Portier Placenta without taking out money na coming from your pocket. Yeah, it is incorporated. Railway understand. Dr. Lim Bonhong knows that the moment you start using Portier Placenta, till death do us part, you will use Portier Placenta. And yes, consume. What influenced people actually to join Railway is who am I today? What influenced people to use Portier Placenta is because I am the product of Portier Placenta now. And I don't have hard time actually in sharing the product because I am definitely an evidence of Portier Placenta. Earlier, okay, earlier, I have seen people, I heard them saying, you look younger every day. I just do not know if they lie, but I tried to believe. You look younger every day, Ate Beth. Whether it is true or not, I knew I am beautiful and I look younger every day. Next, consume the product, share the product, and lastly, share the opportunity. You need to share the opportunity to make your dreams happen. There is a need for you to share the opportunity of Railway in order to bless others. You need to share the opportunity of Railway International, the opportunity itself, because it is the only way that we can actually maximize the very purpose why God created us. This is the only way that we can maximize and then share our purpose to the 110 million Filipinos. If you don't share the opportunity of Railway, you will definitely lose this opportunity. And before I will end up, I have a very interesting story to share with you. My son, Emmanuel, was born special. Since birth, my son was epileptic. His vision is only 30%. And his heart has a big hole that from day one of his life, he was special. And there are times actually that my son would eventually told me na, Mama, when I grow old, when I grow up, I will help you earn a living. This is my son, my menopausal baby. His name is Jose Marie Emmanuel. Every month or every 2 months, my son experienced seizure. From day one up to, 13, 14 years old, he actually experienced seizure. One time, there was even a time when the attack happened na he was lying on the second floor ng bed. He fell down and that incident caused this cranial operation for Emmanuel. And he is actually deprived from education. Out of my children, he feels na he has no, importance. he has no value. That's my son, Emmanuel. For how many times he was telling me na, why God created me like this? I have the eyes, but I cannot see. I have the brain, but I cannot remember anything. I have a heart, but it's a big hole that people will use to bully me. Every time I go around, people will look at me. They will smile at me. And I know that there is something in their smiles. And I felt so sad, actually, so sad. When Eman told me, na, Mommy, you don't need to hire a driver if I am pitoy today. Angelo, I can drive for you. But because I am special, I really cannot. That's how Emmanuel, every day that's his life. I tried to convince my son to actually enroll in a blind school. But he says, no, I'm not blind, Mommy. There's this 30% in me. I'm not blind. I will not go to a blind school. I will not. So right now, he cannot write kasi he cannot see, but he can actually live like a normal one. Right after our gala night, remember the gala night? I bought this barong and have him, dress up. We brought him to the gala night because we believe that gala night was one among the best celebration we had in the Philippines, actually. And if I wanted to share it to my associates, the more that I desire to share it to my children. So he was one among the 6,000 guests inside the World Center. After that gala night, he went to me and then told him, Mama, can I be Pegasus also? It took me a while actually to say yes to him because parang I feel there is a need for me to ask permission from Rayway kasi he is special. He's not like us. He's special. And then he insists on, Mama, I can also share. I can also talk. This time, I want to be a Pegasus. Then I talked to Jedi. Jedi, is the person with disability is okay for them to join Rayway? Yeah, tita. Yes, tita. The platform of Rayway is equal to the 110 million Filipinos. Indeed, I was convinced, really convinced, that Rayway is for the generation. Right from that moment, he asked Faith to buy a corporate attire, have her hair cut, and then every time we had an OPP, my son, who was previously of no purpose according to him, now sharing Portier Placenta, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. The house and lot is true. That's true. I even draw that house, not just in my dream, but I tried to really, be clear of that house and lot. It's a house and lot with 4 or 5 rooms that can accommodate my children. My dream of, guiding Faith, not just a dream, of guiding Faith to become one of the Team Elite today is real and it's true. There was this urgency in my heart to really, do it. That house and lot must be now, not next year. And it happens in Railway International. But the biggest accomplishment that we have today, the biggest accomplishment is no longer the house and lot. It is no longer the cars. But the biggest accomplishment today, we are now an instrument. Me, Faith, we are now an instrument to lift people with us, to bless people with us, to turn people who are broke, to turn people who are hopeless, to become today a people with meaning. People with meaning in life. Second, that I want to share it with you. We are now one big family in Railway. From that colorectal cancer to that very specific goal, to that time-bounded goals, and today, all my children, from Faith to my prodigal son, Angelo, I know you are inside this room. I'm so blessed to have you. So blessed to see him now in a corporate attire. I feel so victorious, Angelo, that you're no longer wasting your time with Dota. But you started to bring your Dota friends to Railway International. And to my son, Emmanuel, you are precious to me. You are precious to the family. Today, as you joined with us, Eman, I promised that we will give you equal platform, equal opportunity with Ate Faith, with Angelo, and you. And thank you so much, Eman, for believing what I believe. Thank you to Portier Placenta, who actually blessed my son. 2 years already, going 2 years and a half, no more attacks. At first, I was so scared of, be on stage because Faith was telling me it must be technical. James wants me to speak English. These two guys actually brought me so much stress. So much stress that my topic was so easy. If you look at it, my topic was so easy. But until this early morning, I really do not know how to start my sharing. But lo and behold, from the bottom of my heart, James Chong, we have the best country general manager in the person of James Chong. The truth of the matter is, when he came from Singapore, he called me. Ate, Beth, where are you? I told him I'm here at Iloilo. I'm helping Janet for the coming opening of the branch. When are you coming back? And then I told him, August 3, I will go back to Manila. No, that's too long. That's very long. Why, James? You wait, I'll go down Iloilo. You see, this country branch manager, James Chong, he has this pure hearts for the 110 million Filipinos today. Less in memory. Senior citizens can understand. And it's so hard for me to follow the step-by-step presentation. But James Chong made it easy for me. Honestly, he make all things, work so easy for me to be on stage today. That's James Chong. And to all the business development officers, I know that they are panic. No? Every time we meet, Tita, are you ready? Maybe out of the 4 speakers, they really believe I am the oldest. I can sense their stress as well. If I saw, it's okay, it's okay. But to all this business development, all the pugi in the Railway Philippines, okay? Thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much. Thank you. And to the 110 million Filipinos, okay? 110 million Filipinos. This Railway International is real. Railway can change you. Railway can change us. If you heard Jeddah saying a while ago, Railway can definitely change not only me, not only Jeddah, but all of us. Railway International definitely can change us. And for William, I was listening to him. That's true that William appears to me, parang it's so light. No, William, I admire William and Diane actually. Deep inside my heart, I was telling Faith, Faith, you look for another William. Honestly, I will really, assist and go with you. Just look for another William. I honestly admire this couple, the hearts. They are not actually Filipinos, but they live, speak more than a Filipino. That's Diane and William. I learn a lot, really learn a lot. And for the next sharer, the next speaker, yes, I am old. Less maybe in terms of, technicalities and all that, but I'm giving the next speaker the floor to really justify what's inside my heart. And to everyone, thank you so much. God bless us all.